As of 2014, about 14% of Philippine households still do not have access to potable water, and only about 50% have access to piped water. Further, human waste from about 84% of the population is not properly treated. Investments in water and sanitation infrastructure need to keep up with the economic growth in the country and meet the growing demand of the population. Waterborne diseases are prevalent. Water and sanitation problems increase the vulnerability of marginalized groups, especially the poor. They also undermine the country's efforts to pursue inclusive growth and become more globally competitive. There have been initiatives to increase water and sanitation service coverage, but investments have not made a significant impact. Historically, only about 3.4 billion pesos annually have been invested in the sector, well short of the 17 billion pesos annual investment requirement to achieve universal access for water by 2025 and for sanitation by 2028. Furthermore, public resources are not systematically allocated to meet national priorities. This is because of the fragmented institutional nature of the water and sanitation sector, as well as the absence of a lead government agency to coordinate all activities of the sector. In addition, a comprehensive policy covering the development of the entire sector for the country is not in place. To address these issues, the NEDA Board Committee on Infrastructure, or InfraCom, during its July 30th, 2013 meeting, directed NEDA to develop a Unified Financing Framework, or UFF, that would guide resource allocation for the development of the water and sanitation sector. The Philippine Development Plan recognizes that in order to improve water supply and sanitation services in the country, 3 pillars of policy reforms are needed. The institutional, which involves the creation of a public agency that will lead the overall management and coordination of the sector. The regulatory, which aims to create a national system through which quality services would be delivered at economic tariffs. The financial, through which resources would be used in an economic manner for the development of the sector. The UFF outlines an approach on ways to finance the sector in an affordable manner. A key objective of the UFF is to increase service coverage for the population and at the same time facilitate the provision of the services in a sustainable manner. To achieve this objective, the following strands of national government support are being proposed under the UFF. Capital grants through Viability Gap Financing, or VGF, and output-based aid. The capital grants through VGF will complement commercial loans and make projects financially viable through affordable tariffs. The amount of grant financing will depend on factors such as income levels and poverty incidence. Water service providers that serve areas with higher incidence of poverty may receive bigger grants. Water service providers, however, must meet certain institutional and financial eligibility criteria to receive VGF. For the poor, the UFF will also grant assistance for house connections to be made to the water and sewerage network. This assistance will be output-based, where compensations would be paid to the water service providers after the connections are made and piped water and sewerage systems are available to the poor. Technical assistance grants will be used for project preparation, feasibility studies, and preparation of bidding documents, and construction supervision. Technical assistance will also be provided to water service providers so that they are able to better serve the customers or make operational improvements. Water service providers should provide about 10% of the costs of a TA, while the national government will provide the rest. However, under special circumstances, water service providers may receive 100% grants for TA, subject to approval of the InfraCom. A guarantee facility will be established to promote more loans from commercial banks. These loans from local commercial banks will complement the VGF resources and promote the development of the sector. In operationalizing the UFF, the InfraCom will act as the Policy Steering Committee. LUA and MWSS will provide technical oversight and on behalf of the national government will disperse grants to water providers. LUA shall be assigned in channeling grants to WSPs outside Metro Manila, while MWSS shall be managing grants for within Metro Manila. However, LUA and MWSS will only channel grants and will not take credit risks. The UFF needs to be approved as a financing policy by the InfraCom, after which it will be elevated to the NEDA board for confirmation and adoption. Upon securing the NEDA board and InfraCom approval, the National Water and Sanitation Program, or NWSP, is proposed to be implemented. The NWSP is an investment program guided by the UFF policy that will demonstrate how government funds can be optimized towards improving the water and sanitation services in the country. The program is expected to be implemented in phases, and it would be important to identify, prepare, and implement viable projects. This, in turn, will help for the national targets to be met. Through the UFF, universal access to potable water and sanitation services will no longer be a mere vision, but a reality.
Umaasa kami na sa tulong ninyo, makatikim din kami ng malinis na tubig para sa kalusugan ng aming pamilya.